Welcome to this week's edition of Sun News Blazer Beat. I'm Zoe Hansen.
And I'm Troy Grimmond. Thanks for tuning in. Sparks flew during the Blazers' last game of the Lobo Invitational in New Mexico. The Blazers faced off against a formidable Lobo squad. The match started off grim, with the Blazers dropping the opening set, then rallied back to take sets 2 and 3 back-to-back. The Lobos managed to steal away the fourth set, but their efforts proved futile as the Blazers rallied back to finish the job. Throughout the match, the Blazers racked up 56 kills, and more than half of those kills originated from sophomore Kennedy Knudsen and senior Hannah Howard. The Blazers also posted a .173 hitting percentage, which is above their seasonal average of .169. The Blazers continue to keep the ball rolling against a tough Fresno State team this Friday at 8 in the Burns Arena.
Advance, better, build. These are 3 expectations of the new Utah Tech swim head coach. Coach Sean King officially returned to Utah Tech after a stint as an assistant coach on the 2020-2021 team. He spent the last 2 years as the assistant coach at Brigham Young University. Last year, the team finished with 7 records at the WAC championship. King says he wants to build upon what the previous coach had. After being announced the new coach, King says, "I think Coach Kessler did an awesome job making Utah Tech swimming relevant, building it into something that was a powerhouse competing in the Western Athletic Conference. We want to continue to build on that."
Sand volleyball, pickleball, cornhole, flag football, and more. Intramurals has begun for the fall 2023 semester. Here is Kelso Lundstedt with more on the intramurals.
Intramural sports has started back up, and they're a great way to meet new people and have fun while doing it. I talked to some of these co-ed football players about why they signed up and why they think intramural sports are important.
I'm playing co-ed flag football, and I grew up playing football. I love football, so I got a group together and just having fun playing football. I've played since, I believe, the 3rd grade, you know, the little football, and then all throughout high school, all 4 years. I'm not the biggest guy, but I just played for fun and had fun, and I love it, so.
Yeah, it's been a fun time. This is the first game of the season, so we're really excited. I'm with the ambassador team, and so we have a really good turnout this year, so I'm really excited.
I've got to go and be part of our team that went to the regionals as well as the national tournament down in Texas. This year we're trying to compete down in Omaha, Nebraska, and then we'll head over to Oklahoma City and then see if we can make it back to Texas, so that'll be a fun adventure. In the past 10 years alone, we've actually hit 21 regional appearances, with 16 of them ending in championships. And then on the national stage, we've had 30 national appearances with 5 championships across all intramural sports. It's really exciting to see that we're fast, we're rapid growing. We're actually one of the top 50 in the entire country for intramural sports, and we're really excited to see where this program takes off.
You meet new people. Last year I played men's flag football. I knew no one. I just joined a random team, and you meet people and you see them around campus. You can say hello, you can play other sports with them, and you can do so much. So I think intramural sports are very important in college.
I think it helps build the community aspect of the campus. It really helps get students involved, and it's a really nice chance for people that maybe wanted to play sports in college but didn't get the opportunity to continue being active, and it really goes with our active learning, active life motto of the university.
For Sun News Daily, I'm Kelso Lundstedt.
Intramurals is still taking on new teams. You can put a team of friends together and scan the QR code below to sign your team up for various sports Intramurals has to offer.
Double trouble. After an impressive first week of the season, the Utah Tech men's soccer team is celebrating 2 of their own named WAC Players of the Week. Sophomore AJ Ciampini was announced the Defensive Player of the Week. Last season, Ciampini started in 9 matches and made 14 appearances in which he played 856 minutes. So far, he has already totaled 165 minutes of playing time and only allowed 2 goals and 10 shots on goal. Sophomore Stockton Short was announced as the goalkeeper of the week. Short had a total of 8 saves and a save percentage of 80%. Short started in 5 matches last season, playing the full 90 minutes with every appearance, and reached his personal season high of 7 saves in a game. The Blazers will be away this week to play Lindenwood University in Missouri, but will play their home opener against CSU Bakersfield next Thursday.
While pickleball intramurals are currently going on, many are unaware that Utah Tech has its own pickleball club and competitive team. I talked to the president of the club, Hunter Iono, and a few of his team members to see how the club came to be and how having the club on campus impacts them.
What made me want to start a club at a pickleball club at Utah Tech, to be honest, I was handed the club over. So it started with Matt Morgan back in 2021, right after the pandemic stopped. And it started off as like maybe about 20 students that that met on the roof and played pickleball, kind of like what's going on now, but like a way smaller scale. And then there was like an ad put out for National Pickleball Championship, and I got a bunch of guys together and I said, hey, I think we can win this thing. So I put together a team. We put together like uniforms, practices, like a whole travel schedule, and we ended up sending it all the way out to Austin. We went all the way out to Austin, Texas, and we played in like a huge collegiate tournament, and we ended up taking second place and took our first loss ever in the finals to UNC. Okay, so as far as the competitive team goes, we have open tryouts every semester. So we do a little bit of recruiting on our end. We'll invite players to come play, and we'll invite them to tryouts, and then anyone else that wants to come and try out, we hold tryouts every single semester. Those spots are always up for grabs. So every single semester, even if we have people that played for us already, they still have to try out, still have to prove that they can earn their spot. And if there's someone else that's better, we welcome them and you know, we'll give them the spot they deserve. The funding comes from primarily fundraising that we do. So it will be either we hold tournaments and we get money that way, or we also get some help from the school as well for the really big events, like for nationals. The school helped us subsidize some of our costs, which is awesome. And then also we do get some donations as well. And honestly, like, the community is awesome at helping us out. It started off from me just having a space to come play pickleball. The first time I ever played pickleball was on this rooftop courts. And so it started off as me finding like a space to play pickleball with other students and have like a healthy outlook. And now how it affects me is now like I run all of this, and it's amazing.
I actually went to Club Rush, and I found some of my friends that ran it when it was first starting back in 2021, and been with it ever since. Well, I like to play competitively, so it's a nice practice. It's also a good time to get out and relax and have a good time with friends and have fun. So for the competitive team, we practice once a week on Thursdays. A lot of the practice is done on our own. We usually will do game simulations, like if we're in a tournament. I think I prefer playing competitive just because it's more of a challenge. But I really do enjoy playing for fun, so I like coming here once a week and having fun with friends.
I enjoy playing competitively. I played professional video games. I've played professional competitive sports my entire childhood, so getting to be able to compete in a college environment is a really good time. It's like being the dad of the group a lot of the time. Me and Hunter kind of take care of everyone and drive the van and have a good time. It's a lot of planning, but other than that, we just eat a lot of snacks and just turn up when we hop on the court.
If you're interested in joining the pickleball club, email trailblazerpickleball@gmail.com.
What started as a small group of athletes who love lacrosse quickly turned into a well-established team. I spoke with members of the men's lacrosse team to learn more about their goals as their second season as a Division I MCLA team.
First team all conference, and I'm hoping to claim that title this year.
My goals is to just make an impact on the lacrosse world out here in Utah, make an impact in our conference, and really show people what we're about.
Honestly, it just starts with coming out here every single day. Our semester starts a lot earlier than everybody else's, so getting out here like a week or two before anybody else and just practicing, just continuing to grow.
Obviously the goal is to make the playoffs and win every game, but I think for me personally, I would like to break the scoring record.
So recently going to MCLA D1, there's going to be a lot more competition, so I feel like some of my personal goals are to beat UVU, BYU, some of those more skilled and advanced teams.
Last year we had the honor of playing UVU. We're going to get that W this year.
I'm excited to play UVU and BYU and probably UCLA.
The game that I'm most excited for is UCLA. That was a team that we barely beat last year, and it was technically a preseason game. So getting the chance to play them again and really prove how much better we've become is a big thing for us.
BYU and UVU.
Ooh, my signature move, probably the split dodge.
I like the classic split dodge, nice and easy.
For me, it's a poke check on defense, really easy check, gets a lot of people, and it's effective.
Probably a roll.
So my go-to move is definitely the slap check.
So I got to see this team start from the bottom and grow their way up to the top. So doing this story was really, really fun for me because I remember talking to the club president at the time. They were like, I really want to get this started and off the ground, get more athletes in. So it really started with like a couple of them. Going out to their practices, they have coaches now, they have a bunch of new players, and it's a really fun environment. And they're playing these big old teams like we saw in the video. We had BYU, UVU, Utah State, UCLA, Arizona, and a bunch more, and they've already beat some of these teams. So I think they have a really fire team. I'm excited to watch them this year.
The biggest thing for me, I think, is that how excited they were to play these teams. I mean, they looked super fired up in the video. You saw that one guy, he's like, yeah, we're finna get this dub. Like, he was so ready to go in that aspect, and I just can't wait to see what they can do against these big teams like UCLA and UVU.
I want to see those big teams come down to our stadium, and I want to beat them at home.
Show them what we can do.
Exactly.
After the break, we'll be talking about the football game against Montana State.
If you don't find it in your game, you'll definitely find it in your surroundings. The land of distinction is calling. Rise to it.
The Utah Tech football team will compete in the first home opener of the season against the University of Montana, who is currently ranked 6th in the FCS division. The team is hopeful for a better game after falling short against Montana State University last weekend. So we lost by over 40 points. It was 20-63, and our team had a huge disadvantage when we let Montana State score or have 402 rushing yards compared to our 49.
Well, I mean, you obviously can't have that. It's like Albert Einstein once said, if you do the same exact thing except expect a different result, it's the definition of insanity. So what Coach Peterson was saying in his show was they missed a lot of open field tackles. They did not have good rush defense whatsoever. And so if Montana is going to come in here, they're going to watch that film and they're going to be like, oh, you know, they're weak against the run. We could run all over these guys, you know? So I think Coach Peterson is going to try and adapt his defensive game plan to maybe stop the rush a little bit more. That's what I think I would do. So,
I mean, the rushing game is huge. Even though they had more yards in passing, it really doesn't compare when you don't have a good rushing game, like at all. It doesn't compare. Even though you can pass as far as you want, but it's not going to do much.
Still, there are a lot of positives to this game, though. I mean, considering we put up 20 points against the number 3 team in the country, so that's honestly pretty good props. It's a good place to start. We were playing away. Coach Peterson was talking about how his players didn't know how to adapt to he thinks they didn't really handle the adversity of playing away. Like, now imagine our crowd in our stadium against a foreign opponent.
I think it'll definitely do a difference against Montana coming up. You know, having our student fans in our student section cheering them on will definitely make a difference. But I think another thing that kind of killed them against Montana State is they had 2 quarterback changes who both threw interceptions and had sacks. They had a total of 3 turnovers, and that's huge in football. If you have 3 turnovers, that gives the other team a chance to score again and again and again. Those turnovers are huge.
The longer you stay on offense, the more possessions and chances you're going to have to win the game, 100%.
Yeah, but once they're back at home this Saturday, it'll be a lot better, so we can only go up from here.
I'm waiting for this upset against number 13 Montana.
Head coach Paul Peterson explained in the post-game show, we can't miss any tackles. We got to be perfect in our execution, and I don't think we did that. The team plans on improving from the loss and hopes for a better outcome against Montana. On that note, make sure to go cheer on your Blazers at the Greater Zion Stadium this Saturday at 7 p.m.
And that's it for this week's edition of Sun News Blazer Beat. Thanks for tuning in.
We'll see you here next week, same time, same place. Have a great week, Trailblazers.